So this is another installment of a series of videos that I'm doing about when I'm triggered or in an emotional flashback, what's happening with me and how I get through it. So what's happening is, I don't know, maybe like a month and a half ago, I quit my job. And I've decided that I'm not going to find another job. I'm going to roll the dice with chasing my dreams. And what does that mean? That means that I am leaving the security of a steady paycheck so that I can, try to be a full-time writer and try to be a full-time photographer. And so I guess for the last month and a half, I've just been staving off this anxiety and this panic. The panic that comes from, this is me identifying the emotional flashback or the trigger. The trigger is I don't feel safe when I'm not making money. Because as soon as I had a car, when I was 17, I started working full-time, and that's how I got away from my abuser. I saved up enough money to run away. And so for the past, 12, 14 years, I've worked my ass off to have that safety net, to feel safe. And clearly that's not healthy, and I need to learn how to feel safe without relying on some kind of steady income at a shit job where I make cash or money every day. So, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to conquer this fear. But it's hard. I think up until now, I've been really handling the anxiety well. Anxiety is something that in my 5 years of recovery from complex PTSD, it's something that I have learned to control. I used to have social anxiety disorder. I used to have chronic panic attacks. And I don't suffer from that anymore. Most of the time when I feel panic coming, I can logic my way out of that. And I did that I heard this sentence, this life-changing sentence for me. And the sentence is, depression is when you're living in the past, and anxiety is when you're living in the future. If you stay in the present moment, then you won't suffer from either. And yeah, that's really easily said, but it's much harder done. So, but knowing this, and knowing that right now my anxiety is coming from worry over the future, or me trying to predict the future, that's what worry is. Worry is me trying to figure out what's going to happen in the future. I never know what's going to happen in the future, so I can never truly, pick what to worry about. And my worry leads to anxiety. And so my anxiety is that I'm not going to have enough money to get by. And I think that's probably a really valid anxiety and panic that a lot of people feel. But in the past, I've always let that dictate my life. And I've let that control my destiny in a way that, it's more important for me to make money and feel safe and have, whatever job that I can get than for me to pursue the life that I want, to pursue the dreams that I have, because I can't live with this anxiety. But I can. And nothing bad's gonna happen. That's what I have to keep reminding myself. I have to keep reminding myself that, first of all, I can't predict the future. I don't know what's gonna happen. So that my worries and my anxieties, there's a 50-50 chance that they're even valid. There's, it could go a completely different way. And since my mind has been conditioned to focus on the negativity, I have to stop. I have to at least validate the fact that it could go either way. I could be totally broke and not make my bills, or it could go the other way. You know, I'm starting a business, I'm setting myself up to the point where, you know, I may be able to be stable and I may be able to generate enough income. And I think for people with complex PTSD or people who have chronic anxiety, this is a great step. Taking your anxiety, realizing that you're focusing on the negative, and then validating that positive half. Reminding yourself that there is a white to the black. And then also, I just keep reminding myself that that I have to live in the now. That anxiety comes from projecting into the future, trying to figure out what's going to happen in the future, and I don't know what's going to happen in the future, so there's no point in worrying about it. So I'm going to take some positive steps right now, things that I know will make me feel less anxious about my future, and that's all I can really do. And then I'm going to do some grounding, maybe like walk outside barefoot, or I don't know. That's usually how I do grounding. Maybe I'll go to the water, and then I'll come back to the present moment. And that's how I beat anxiety. That's how I keep my panic attacks from coming back. Yeah, hope that helps. So you can find the podcast at Complexities Podcast on any major platform. You can go to my website, austinhhoward.com. You can see there what I quit my job to do. And Instagram, Austin H. Howard and Complexities Podcast. We talk about healing from complex PTSD. And hope you check it out.